Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. Today we're going to be making our page pockets and our signatures to go into our slotted spine. Hopefully it won't get too long. If it does, I'll shrink it, but hopefully it won't. So, I mean, I'm starting out at the, at the front of this. So, to make the page pockets, that's where we're going to go first. You make them whatever size you want them to be for the journal you're making, okay? And I've got 2 printouts of this page because one of them is going to be for matting, and this one I printed on the back, and that'll be the stacked image pockets, right? But before we do that, we need to make our base. You can use any kind of lightweight cardstock. I wouldn't use copy paper for this. You need something with a little more strength to it. Even if you have like scrapbook paper, you get the big pads, the 12 by 12s or whatever, that would work. It's a little stronger than regular paper, right? So we're going to use this. It's supposedly a 110, but I'm telling you, this is a lot thicker than the 110 I usually use, so I have to use a lot more pressure when I'm doing the scoring and stuff. So let's do that. I'm going to get some stuff out of my way so I can do this, right? Okay, so I'm going to scoreboard mode, and I'm going to score 1/2 inch on either end of the page, the short ends, right? And 1/2 inch on the bottom, okay? That's what works best for me. So, this is just a little hinged page, and then we're going to make it a pocket. So that's the way that's going to work. Okay, get that out of the way, and we're just going to fold it in half, as straight as possible, half, right? Give it a good press down, because you want it to be a really nice crease on that edge, okay? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and fold these in. Well, one's going to go in and one's going to go out, just, but whichever way you fold them, you can always fold them back the other way. People used to say you couldn't do that, but you know what? We've learned over the years you can do that. Okay, so we also need to fold our bottom up, and have that creased really well as well. Okay, so what I do is I take this and I just cut that little corner like that. That gets me started, right? Okay, then you're going to do, well, let's see. I want them to be the same as the others, so this is going to be this way, and so this one's going to fold out like that, okay? Alright, and this one is going to fold in. Excuse me, I'm croaky. I'm croaky today. Okay, so since this one is folding in, excuse me, hold on a minute. Okay, and we're back. So since this one is folding in, you want to keep both its parts. This one, not so much. I'm going to take this one off. Just cut your score line off Okay. You can do this on your trimmer. You can do this with a craft knife. You can do this however way you want. And then we're going to take a little wedge off here. We'll do that at the top in a little bit, but we've got some more stuff to do for the moment. Okay, so we're going to take this off. We're going to take this corner at an angle, and then we're going to take it at the other angle, the other direction. Okay, and this one, like so. Okay. All right. So this one's going to fold in, and this one's going to fold in, and that's going to make our big page pocket, like so, right? Like so. All right, to do this, I'm going to use tape because, you know, I like to use the tape, and some glue because I like security. So, yeah, just a little there and a little here, like so. Give it a good squash down. As I said, this is thicker than usual, so you really want to get a lot of pressure on it. So, just saying. Okay, let's get this going. We kind of have to put them both at the same time, which isn't ideal, but you're going to close the whole thing up, so it is what it is. Part of this won't be with you at the end, okay? Or unless you're doing a 9-inch tall, which is fine to do. I've done those. But what I'm doing on this one is not that. So we're just going to go with it, okay? Just fold it straight on its line, hopefully, like so. And then straight up through there. And you want to give this a lot of pressure and a minute to settle in. Where's my, here it is. I can get it without causing a craft lunch is the next thing. My desk is a little full. That's okay. It just means I have lots of things to do, which is good. I like to have things to do. Okay, now you see, as this folds out, that's going to be our hinge in, okay? So what we want to do is get it the same size as our others, okay? So I'm going to keep it straight at the bottom. I had to trim these down, which is fine. You want them all to be the same size, right? So that's why I said we don't have to do the, you know, we're not doing the top corner off yet because the top's going to switch down to here, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get our trimmer, and we'll see how good this does. It may be that I have to trim it with the scissors, but we're going to do this. It's really thick, this stuff. I'm not complaining. I'm just a little surprised that it's as thick as it is. Okay, so I'm going to start there and work my way back. Ooh, it did it. I'm impressed. I've had to cut some of them off. Just saying. Okay, so now we've got it the same-ish, like so, right? Same height. So I want to get the same here and here, make that same, that. Now, I didn't use the scissors, those decorative edge scissors on this one. You can, but I didn't. what I used is I pulled out this old, I've had this for ages, and I pulled it out to use. It's a little noisy and creaky, but I haven't used it in a while, and I thought, why not, you know? Why not? Because, yeah, it's a Decal Edge Tonic Studios one, you know? So it makes that edge, you know, like so. And that's pretty nice. I like it. So let's move this out of the way now. Okay. Alright, so now we've got our base ready, and we're going to need the matting to go on it, right? Put that down, you silly. Okay, so put that down, and we're going to do our matting. So, let's see. Yeah, not that one. You don't have to print on the back of them for the pockets. I just did because I did, you know. I want this in half. So, let's see where the half, oh, I can see the half. Okay. I can see the half of it right there-ish, more or less. So yeah, I just want that cut in half. And let's see, which one do you want on the front and which one you want on the back? I think I want the pink one on the front, so we're going to go with that way. Okay, so here, what I do is I lay it here, and I decide how much of what I'm going to cut off for the sides, because you want to, you know, you want a little bit of space to mat it down there. So you just simply do a this, and make sure I know where that fold is. Let me pull it up a little bit so I can see, keeping that one straight where it was, and this. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little bit off of each side. Yep. Okay, like that. Just keep your cutter straight. Whatever you're using to cut with, just keep it straight. Poor little boy cut his ear off. So, okay. He'll survive. Alright. Then we're going to take off this much here. Alright. And that should fit just how we want it. It's going to be perfect. Okay, now we've got to come up here and take off what we want off up here. So that one's pretty much to the top because I had to trim them. So I'm going to do that right there, and that'll be fine. Okay, it's just a nice crafty day today. Just sort of doing things, figuring things out, stuff like that. All good, right? Okay, so we've got this one just about ready, like so. Now, the next thing is we need this to go down because we need some room. We need enough room to make our mark. So this is inside. Is that making sense? Inside there. So let's see. We want it to be where we want it to be. Okay, like so. We're going to do here and here. Okay. Now we need the other trimmer. Because, you know, if you use it once, you got to use it again, right? Okay. Going there. I'm just lining up my little pencil marks right on the edge and press this down, and there you go. It should work. You know, it should. It should. Okay. Did before. Should work like so. Okay. now we got that one ready. And I'm going to do the other one. I'll do it off camera because we've got a lot more to do. And I'll get these inked and taped up and ready to mat. And then I'll be back. So, hold your horses. Okay, we're back. We're ready to mat these things on here. So, we're just going to put them like so. Like that. Let's just get her done, right? Okay. Now, if you have little bitty pieces of tape, you know, go ahead and use them. It's fine. It is fine. Sometimes you have a little bit of this and that left over, and you know, you use that. It's all good. Okay. I'm thinking this is going to be really beautiful. Now, look, with this particular journal, you can use all page pockets, and I've done that. Or you can use signatures and page pockets, which is fine, which is what I'm doing this time. So, you know, pick and choose whichever way you want to go with that. I think both ways are really great, and they turn out awesome. So yeah, don't worry about if it's gonna look this way or that. It's gonna look beautiful. I'll show you some examples at the end of this series of things I've done before. If you haven't seen them, there are several that I've made this way, and they turned out so beautiful. I think my favorite one was the one I did at Christmas time last year, and oh my word, guys, it was so beautiful. And also it was one I put a signature in, and I put a page pockets. I think I did more. I'd have to look, but I'm pretty sure I did more page pockets and just did one signature. On this one I'm doing 2 signatures and 3 page pockets. So it works, you know, it does. So yeah, it's all good. Whichever way you want to do it. I mean, we're being creative, so creativity has its own way of doing things, right? You may do it this way, next time you may do it the other way. It's all good. So yeah, pretty simple to get these on here. And I mean, you know, after you get them sized to the way you want, after you make your base and you make the size you want, this is just, you know, simple, easy, just putting things down, right? So yeah, pretty simple. Pretty simple. Yeah. I like using the glue and the tape. I know, I've said it many times before, but you know, it just gives me that bit of security that I know this is going to stay together for a long, long time. Because if one gives out, the other one will still be there working hard, right? So anyways, let's put this on there, and then we'll get on to our pocket. Right like so. Get a little bit further over here, please. Okay, that'll do. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Just be. Okay. Now we're gonna see if we can encourage this backing off, and we'll be ready for our pockets. Our pockets are fun and easy. They're just a simple gusseted pocket with the slant. I think I did a slant on all these. I think a slight slant, not a big slant. Put a slight slant, okay? Angle, whatever way you want to say that. Now that is pretty on its own. If you didn't want to put the pockets, I could understand, because that is really pretty all on its own. Just beautiful. But when you put that pocket on there, you've got extra room. You've got this big pocket here, of course, right? But you've got this pocket here to put a little bit of extra stuff in there, okay? So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, again, I want this in half. I've got things stacked up. Oh, you just wouldn't believe. Okay, so half is there-ish. Yep, okay. Just taking these in half. Now I'm going to make my pockets. You want to just stack the image. That way you don't lose anything. Now we'll make one on camera and the other one I'll go off and do so that our video doesn't get, 10 hours long, okay? So on this we're going to do 1/2 inch, because we're going to sit it on top, and 1/2 inch, and then we'll decide where we want our slant to be. You can go this way or the other way. You can go whichever way you want to go. I think I've got both ways on either which way. So anyways, so I think we're going to do a slant this way. Yeah, let me go ahead and mark that. We're going to do a slant starting from about here. Now that's going to be our gusset, so we won't see that. Let me see, I'll get my ruler and see how tall I made these, because I might have done them, I don't know, a certain height. I want them to be samey, right? 2.5 on that side and 3 on that side. So let's do that, okay? So if we're doing 2.5 and we're doing 1/2 inch gusset, so that makes 3. Wait a minute, this was the short side, right? Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, we're going to do it 3, like so, because you have to allow for your 1/2 inch gusset on the bottom, and that was 3, so it'll be 3.5 on this side, right? Okay, 3.5 right there. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and do our decal slant, and we'll get our this way, and we'll get our slant on there. And if you have those decorative edge scissors, those are great. Use them, use them. Right, like so. If you have one of these, use it. I haven't used this in age. Am I in the right place? I'm just having to make sure. I have insecurity issues. I want to make sure it's in the right place. Okay. It's a slight slant, okay? Like so. Alright. Now, here we go. It's a little noisy, but I think it makes a really nice decorative edge. Hope you guys think so. And we'll put our trim in behind so that you can see that nice edge, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get our scoring done. We want 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. Okay. Yep, a lot of stuff on my desk. Okay. 1/2 is there. Turn it around and keep it straight. And 1/2 is there. Don't worry about going over him. He's still on the other page. So it's all good. And then 1/2 is there. Okay? Just a simple gusseted pocket that's just easy to make, easy to use. Gives you a little extra room to put that. Now you can put a flat pocket I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying, you know, this gives you a little bit of extra room. In a flat pocket, you're really very limited as to what you can put in there. But with this, you've got plenty of room. Did I go angly on that? No, I'm good. Sometimes you can get off on your cut when you're, you know, taking shortcuts. I take a shortcut when I can. Okay, we want more of an angle there. Definitely want more of an angle there. The other way, huh? Okay, now let's get all these little things up. Okay. And like I said, we're going to put our bit of this on there. I had a little bit extra left over there. I'm liking that fringe, I really am. And if you put it in the back, it still strengthens the edge of this pocket, but it's coming up behind, and it kind of just gives you that little bit of a, I don't know, just a cute look from behind. Make sure you've got it straight on the front, because you want it to be, you know, straight-ish, right? And give it a good press down. Yeah, it strengthens that edge, and you can still see it really well. It's like a little bit of a fringy thing coming up from behind, right? Okay, now a little bit of inking on the sides, now that we have sides, and the bottom. That's just a really cute pocket, guys. But like I said, you can do just, you know, put it down as a flat pocket if you don't want to go through and do the gussets. Well, there's always a way to make it, I don't know, easier, simpler, whatever you want to do. It's your journal, it's your pocket. But be careful, if you don't put the fringe up there or some kind of lace or trim of some kind, it can, over time, really wear out with things going in and out of the pocket, right? So there's that. Let's give this a squash down like so, and like so, and like so. Now we're ready to put that on there. Now it's just going to sit right on top of there. You want to line it up with the house, with her dress, with his feet, with, you know, this guy being where he needs to be, put his ear back on, you know, that kind of thing. That kind of thing, right? Okay. That's another project for another day. Okay. I'm working on so many different things, guys. It's a little crazy. But fun. Fun, fun, fun. I like to have fun. I like to have something to do. It keeps my little mind from wandering too many places. I don't know if you guys are like that, but you know, it does. It keeps me from getting too far into the weeds or whatever of things. Okay, get them lined up just so, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay. Now, I like to put that bottom on first. It helps me get things straight-ish, and I don't get too far off from where it needs to be, hopefully. Yep. Pretty good, actually. Okay. Now, get this on there, and like I said, I'll do the other one off camera, and it'll have a pocket on both sides, I promise. But we need to get on with the other thing we've got to do. right? It won't take too long. Okay, there is our stacked image gusseted pocket. And the other side will have its own, I promise. Okay, moving along. Like I said, I'm going to have 2 signatures in. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting a, I guess what you would call a double hinge on this, because it's a signature and it just needs, it needs to be in there really, really, you know. So I thought I'd show you how to do that if you want to do that. Now, you don't have to. Just saying, you don't have to. The ones I'm doing, the journal that this is going to fit into, okay, is going to be the ones we made, of course, in this series, right? So, and I've got this one's done up and ready to go in. But as you see, these go in doubled. The hinged page pockets go in, you know, that way. And on the back you've got the page pockets in first, and then the signatures in over, sort of overlapping that. And all of this will get taped over and then glued into the journal cover, right? Anyways, that's where we're going with this, okay? All right, so this one is 6 3/4 by 2 inches, okay? So I'm going to put, this won't be seen. It's on the back side, okay? But I'm going to put this tape, yeah, I'm going to put it on this side. Well, tape. This is my homegrown version of fabric tape, right? So you just put double stick tape on thin fabric, then just cotton fabric, right? And lay that to the side for a moment, please. Okay. It's sticky. Okay. Now, on this, I'm going to put my glue, because if it doesn't go down just right, you do want to be able to move it a little bit. Just saying. But yeah, you just, you know, give it that extra little bit of this and that. Trying to stay in shot, I promise. Yeah, you just give it a lot of glue so that you can get them all matched up. And bring this over. It's sticky. Okay, alright already. Yeah, you don't want that. Okay. If you're fumble fingers like me, then, you know, just carefully put it on there to the edge-ish on one end, and then just kind of, you know, run your way down through there, okay? Alright. Then you give it a good roll. Now you've got your spine piece, right? And you're going to fold that in, okay? And fold it both ways. So you've got, you know, you got to train it, right? Okay, like so, like so. Just get it trained real good. It's a little wet, so be patient, you know. Alright, now this is what we're going to sew our signature into. Let's take our little wedge corners off here, because you don't need that, okay? Okay. Alright. So this is what we're going to sew our signature into. I wanted mine to be the samey, okay? samey. So I'm gonna use the other one that I already have my holes punched and sewn in. I'm going to use this one to go inside of this one. And then I'll punch the same holes, hopefully, if I can get that to work out. Well, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it one way or another. I promise. I want them to be the same. So let me just use my pencil. And I'm going to say right there is where I'm going to put one. Right there is where I'm going to put another one. And then right there is where I'm going to put the other one. Usually I don't worry about this kind of thing, but this is going to be in a really nice journal that's going to be, it could be seen, it probably won't. I'm probably overthinking it, which I do, you know, overthink things, but for me, I'll know they're all the same. Okay, I'll know. So I'm just going to poke my holes, not stab myself, because that hurts. So just saying. Yeah. Okay. And the bigger you make the hole, the easier it is to sew through. Just saying. And this is lightweight cardstock, so I'm not worried about it getting all, you know, funny on me. Okay, let's do this. I'm using wax linen thread, which is my usual. It makes it really easy to thread your needle because it's waxed, okay? And I'm also using a big-eyed blunt needle for this. Just use whatever you have. It doesn't need to be a sharp needle because you've already punched your hole, right? So you can use a blunt one and just do, wait a minute, I don't want to do it that way. I'm going from behind because I want my knot behind, not out front. No charms hanging on these journal strings. Just doing a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Trying to stay in shot, I promise. But yeah, just if you start on the outside, on the back here, then you're going to tie on that side too. So then all your knot and all that stuff is back here, not up there. So give it a good tug and tie it off. I do a double knot twice, and then I know for sure. But all this is going to be in the back. It's going to be glued in. No worries. Leave it about an inch, just because you don't want it to be too close and you're not come undone. I don't think it would on the back like we're doing this one, but just in case, okay? Just in case. Now, this will fit into the slot. I'll show you how I did that. This is the slotted spine that's going in the journal that we're making on video. See, you fold it back this way, and it's sewn in with the fabric so that it's not going to pull off, right? So, what you do is you just slot both of them in to that slot, and that glues down that way. So it's super simple and easy to do. And I'm going to do 2 of these and 3 of the, well, that's in there now, isn't it? And 3 of the page pockets. That's going to be really awesome. I'll show you this again. I've already got this one together, ready to put in. So, yeah, just super nice, right? And they're pretty close. They're that 1/2 inch, so you've got plenty of room to put lots of stuff in here, and you can write because it's going to lay down flat. Okay, so that's what we're doing. next video we'll put these in for real, not just pretending. We'll put these in and we'll start putting it together into the spine. But for now, I think I've you know, it's long enough. You guys take care. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. TTFN.